The more I travel around, the more businesses I work with, and I typically work with 50 companies a year, everything from startups to Fortune 100 companies, the more convinced I am that the executives in one industry are unaware of the accelerating pace of change in industries other than their own. And it's easy to see why this happens. We've all got so much to concentrate on in our own domains of expertise. It's hard to actually step back and connect the dots. But I often hear this expression, which is, "Oh, Luke, we don't need any more ideas. We've already got more ideas and initiatives than we know how to execute." But when I actually ask to see all the ideas and initiatives they're pouring all their energy and their finances into, just about 100% of the time, with very few exceptions, the ideas are incremental ideas. Ideas that support the current way of running a project, ideas that support the current product or service, business model, offering. Again, it's easy to see why the incremental ideas are the only ones getting any traction, because if you're a leader, and most of you in this room are in some sort of leadership capacity, somebody comes to you with an idea for maybe managing a project in a different way, you're only going to okay that if you believe that is the right way to run the project. If you think this new arrangement of resources, this new idea is going to be successful. And the ideas that you think are successful are the ones that track best with your experience, the ones that are most familiar to you and everything you and the organisation have done in the past. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with success. It's what we all want. Nobody wants to run a project that's not efficient or effective. But the flip side of any success that you've experienced individually or in your organisations is that complacency sets in. And complacency is literally the most dangerous word in business because it leaves no room for possibility. Everyone in the organisation generally shares the same mental model of the way those ingredients and resources need to be arranged in order for you to be successful. So the first step to seeking new arrangements is starting to disrupt people's thinking, their mental model on how these things are meant to be arranged. This is about getting your organisations in a position where you're not spotting and reacting to changes in circumstances, like a lower price of oil, for instance. It's learning how to be the disruptive change, lead the disruptive change, being the ones that take your segment, category and industry into the next generation of how they operate. If you're really going to lead disruptive change, you have to let go of the notion that this is meant to be a happy process where everyone is going to look this complacent. If you're really going to lead disruptive change, by definition it's terrifying because you don't know what the answers are going to be. So everyone in the process looks far more like this. All cliches, all best practices are around for a damn good reason. It means they were a great idea, a great arrangement of resources at the time. And they might still be a great idea. But it's the very strength of the idea, it's the very strength of the recipe that keeps it protected. We're all so obsessed in business, running around, trying to spot the big problems that need to be solved. I bet 98% of your job is spent putting out fires. The faster you can solve a problem, the faster you can get on the next thing on your to-do list. The problem with problems is they're seductively clear. They're screaming for your attention, which typically means in your organisation, problems are the only things getting any thinking attention. The richest areas for your future, the richest areas for the future of the industry and innovation are the seemingly unbroken aspects of the situation. The areas where nothing appears to be wrong. The whole point of disruptive thinking is paying attention to things that are normally ignored and not obvious. The whole point of disruptive leadership is directing other people's attention to those things.